I remember that. I
Can you
remember that.
believe Back to the Future ripped off Sonic the Hedgehog?
What the fuck? But no, what is it? Oh fuck, what was I saying? Everything is a bit of a self-insert at the end of the day because you're really writing about like something that you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
a lot of like story ideas come from your personal experiences and things like that.
Oh yeah,
to an extent, everything is. But the at the same time, you have to be self-aware about that, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, just
It's
don't.
battling that urge.
Yeah, no, just don't make them a carbon copy of you yourself, except you have a cool giant sword that can punch God in the face really, really hard.
Also, think: is this character? What is their like weaknesses? What is their?
Yeah, no, like what is the nuances they have? Like fucking, it's like what do they fear? What do they not want to happen?
Doesn't like them, who likes them, and who doesn't like them. That's also like an important thing. You have to have like a chart of who likes them and who doesn't like them and for what reasons.
Yeah, no.
And if someone wants to end up not liking them, going from liking and not liking them, you need to be like really specific. You gotta like plan that out and be like, this is how it goes.
Yeah,
like,
no, because
there needs to be like legitimate reason and like a legitimate convincing. Because you have to, if you are to tell a story, you have to just not just convince yourself, but convince the people reading it.
Yeah, no, because
that's how it works.
Yeah, no, because as an example, I know I've been trying to write a thing I've been trying to get around to writing a thing for like a while, and I know for my main character, like I want there to be like two boys who are like really high up and have the super cool anime powers. One of them is really cool and actually gets the main character up to where they are. The other doesn't trust a fucking bone in their body. Also, there's Metal Sonic.
Yes, I know. I remember this was like a boss. CD reference.
Yeah, no.
This is into the CD, right?
Yeah, no, this is Sonic CD, fucking Sonic Chaotix if you really want to be a nerd about it. Ow.
What is it? What is it? See, my thing, and again, it's really funny because it's really funny because you know this. I have not watched past My Hero Academia past like the musical arc because like I think I'm gonna find the musical arc really boring, and I didn't want to watch it.
Oh yeah.
And I have to get around to doing it. Probably a music festival or whatever.
Yeah, no.
And
music
what
festival.
is it? And what is it? You know that. Yeah, because I was mentioning that. And what is it? And the fact that the world is it's just such a simple premise, but such a cool premise. At the end of the day, which is just well, like 80% of the world has like superpowers. Like it's a genetic thing. Everyone has superpowers. You basically weird out.
It's like the X-Men, except they're only racist to some of the population.
Actually, what is it? You know, sometimes Nux Taku can be a little cringe, but when he was talking about it, and I do agree with one of the points, is that a motif is that like the more deformed quirks actually do have a bit of bias against them.
Yeah, I know, because like you got that one character who has mind control, and he's like really effective, but nobody wants to hire him because that's a villain power.
And part of it also is that how they actually like do their hero test is very not.
Yeah, no, it's very catered to people who can destroy giant machinery, and not so much to people who have, say, psychics, less physical powers. Like, look, if your superpower is that you can turn your hand purple, that's not gonna do much in the exam.
See, like, and for example, he would probably be a more powerful character than let's say fucking Mineta. But he didn't get anything. He's in general studies because they wouldn't fucking accept him. And like oh my god,
honestly, like if I'm being real, this boss fight is a coin toss as to whether or not you beat it. Because like sometimes you can do really well and just roll into it, but other times you're Knuckles and then you just fall behind him.
Actually, that was happening to me. You know that like beginning boss with like Eggman?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was happening to me when I like would.
Well, there we go. Yeah, no, but fucking My Hero Academia.
But like, so like, mind control dude would be so much more powerful than Mineta in every single way. But the problem is that because the test is catered, I don't even know how Mineta got in. fuck did he do that?
I don't know. How did the invisible chick get in, honestly? Because her only superpower is that she is invisible.
Yeah, and how did she kill a giant robot?
How did she kill a whole-ass giant robot?
Because also, to boot, like, I understand, like, Momo, and with Momo, because I don't think Momo could, like, kill a giant robot, especially at the beginning.
Yeah.
When she's not very confident, because that's part of her thing.
Yeah, no.
And I don't think she could, because, like, creating shit and all that. Maybe she could create some acid and melt some, like, a shit or something.
Yeah.
But I don't think she could necessarily kill those giant robots out of just nothing. But it makes sense that she got in because she didn't have to do that. Because she's rich.
Yeah.
That, you know what I mean? That's part of her thing.
Yeah, no, I get it, because there's a lot of we live in the society stuff going on with my hero.
That's also another thing that they don't explore a lot, which is that if you already are a pre-established hero, or your family just has a lot of power, like your family is pre-established in the hero society,
there we go.
You generally are more favored too. Like, let's say, not just like even in like the original, like in that like special test.
Oh yeah.
For example, what is his face? What is his name?
Are we talking Todoroki or like?
No, Todoroki is the big one where like he got to skip basically that entire exam because his dad is Endeavor.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the other one who has a hero family, like a really big one.
Are we talking about Running Man?
Yes, Running Man. I forgot his name.
It's on the tip of my tongue, but I cannot recall it.
With a collection of fucking glasses. That is my favorite thing about him, is that he's a collection of glasses.
Oh,
I love him. He's so funny. Look, my room is normal. Why do you have so many glasses? Who doesn't have so many glasses? Don't fucking judge me.
He's like, what? Is it weird for me to have like 17 different glasses all on my bedside?
No, it's not even 17. It's like 100.
Oh my god, that's even better.
He has like a shelf, like shelves full of them. It's so cool. I love it. I love him. He's my favorite. And like I do like his character development, where like he gets really mad about his brother and shit.
Yeah, but, I love the bit where it's with his brother and Stain. It's amazing.
I do. It like the Stain with him and like Stain, but it also shows it was also like a cool thing about vengeance, and it's not fucking worth it.
Yeah.
It also proves Stain's point very, very hard, which is that a lot of heroes, in some capacity, shouldn't be heroes. Like Endeavor.
Yeah, I know. Because I know, like, the big example is Mount Lady, and, like, she's the one who's, like, mainly in it for the money, right?
Yeah, Mount Lady just in it for the fame and money. I think they should explore that with Endeavor more a little, too, because Endeavor, he does, like, prove himself. I do know, like, eventually he does, like, prove himself a bit more as number one. That's a big... But at the same time, you have to understand, he abused his fucking children.
Let's not forget fucking season 2 where where the only reason he married, I don't think it's the only reason, but I know one of the reasons he married his wife.
It's only married. They actually, I don't know if they confirm it in later seasons, but when they were talking about it, the only reason he married, like the way Todoroki made it in that season. I haven't watched past it, so again, don't judge me, don't tear me apart. But the second I haven't watched past like the fucking where they get Eri back. But what is it? Yes, see, that kept happening to me.
Yeah.
But that's bullshit.
Yeah,
but what is it?
Fucking stupid.
What is it? Shit. He just says that the reason he married her was so that they can make a powerful quirk to surpass All Might.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing.
Endeavor's obsessed with it because he can't beat him. So he, like, marries this woman to be like, yeah, there we go. I'll just make my son beat you. And it's really fucking...
Yeah,
and I wish they actually... I think they go down it more, because I do remember seeing things where they go down it more, but I hope Stain makes it... I know Stain... I don't want to spoil it, because I think you also haven't... I've read a lot about My Hero Academia.
Yeah, no, it's like... Here's my thing. The latest I am is that I've watched the last episodes of Season 4, and I have not started Season 5 yet.
Okay, because I've read, like, some things that, like, happen, like, in the manga, and I don't want to spoil it for you.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
And I know some things, and it's kind of... And I'm hoping they go with this direction, because it legitimately is interesting to me. Okay, what do you think's gonna happen? I actually want to ask.
Oh,
What do
yeah,
you think's
sure.
gonna happen to Stain? Do you think Stain's just gonna sit in prison and they're never gonna use him again?
Yeah, so far, honestly, like, for a while it seemed that way, but honestly, if Horikoshi is, like, the kind of whole good writer I think they are, I imagine that they could totally bring Stain back and do something cool with them.
Okay, I'm not. If I don't explain how, do you mind me telling you if Stain comes back or not?
Sure, why not?
Okay. He gets out of prison. He gets out of prison. He does.
Oh, okay.
He hasn't come back yet, but he's out of. As far as like the manga is concerned, he is out of prison.
Okay.
That happens. I won't tell you how because I actually do like what they did with that and how he got out of prison. Actually, I think it's kind of cool because it's exactly what I think they should have done and how it should have been done. Like it's the obvious way it was handled, but it's still cool. That makes sense. But yeah, no, it was handled really well. I think that's cool, and I hope they bring him back, but also as somewhat of a, what is it? I hope they do something where he does, like, go up to Endeavor and be like, "You're a shit person," you know that, right?
Yeah,
and,
no, because like that would be like the because like what with what happens in season 4, I'm not gonna say what, but it would be a really great way to continue Endeavor's character arc.
Because I know one thing, like, I know Hawk exists. I have, even though, like, I've only got to season 3, I know a lot of the heroes. Hawks, for example.
Oh,
I know,
Hawks.
I'm fucking Hawk. I can't remember what his quirk is, per se. I just know he's, like, a flyy dude, and, like, he can give his wings to people or some shit like that. Like, he did it to Endeavor, who, like, took, like, a Noma or something and turned it to fucking Chris.
Hey, you want to see the coolest boss in Sonic Mania?
Oh my god, you just fucking pipe bomb him?
We are Eggman now.
We have become Eggman.
We've
Look how the turntables.
look how the turntables.
Nice one, nice one, dipshit. Thanks for leaving your shit around.
Yeah, that's what you get when you fucking leave your keys in the Eggmobile fucking forehead.
No, what is it? Since we're still talking about it, what is it? Because I know, what is it? I know he, like, he fights a villain, and, like, he does that, and that's, like, a big thing, and Todoroki's like, what the fuck? No, dad, and, like, actually cares about his dad. And I know there's one scene in the anime where, like, what is it? Like, they're having a dinner together, and, like, he gets a scar, and, like, Todoroki points it out, like, in a very, like, passive-aggressive way, like, fuck you, dad. I know that. That's like a really... But that's about as all I know. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely get it.
What is it? It's actually really weird how I, like, do shows. I'll, like, know bits and pieces from, like, the later parts in the anime, but at the same time, I, like, know nothing about what happens... Or, like, no later parts in the manga, but I have no idea what happens past, like, season fucking 2 of the anime.
Yeah, cause like I know cause I had a similar thing going on with Bleach, where I didn't know much about where this thing was going after season 1, but going in, I knew, oh yeah, no, Aizen's like the twist villain. He shows up at the end of the arc, he's like, haha, look at how cool I am, I'm gonna become God. Fuck you, Captain Yamamoto, you stupid bitch.
Yeah, like, I know the obvious, the obvious thing that's gonna happen with fucking Shigeki. I thought it was Shigeki for the longest time, but apparently that's from JoJo. His name's like Shigeki or something.
Really?
I swear to God, I thought it was Shigeki, right? And I told my sister, yeah, I was trying to talk about Shigeki to my sister, and I swear to you not, Shigeki, MHA. I know it's Shigaraki, I think it is. Yeah, Shigaraki. Shigaraki.
That's how they say it in the anime.
Shigaraki.
I think that's how they pronounce it in the dub, because that's what I watch. That's how I watch MHA.
No, I watched it in the sub. Or, sorry, the dub. The dub.
Yeah,
I watched it in the dub.
I know I watched the dub because I already read enough, because I have the Ruby books fucking behind... I had them behind my computer, and if I wanted to read, I could have just gotten those out.
What is it? The reason I usually stick to dub is because, and especially because I'm very happy that I did for My Hero Academia, because there's some things that don't make sense if it's in English. Like, for example, the exchange student from America, there's a joke there where, like, he, like, tells her something in Japanese, and she says it, and the joke is she doesn't know what it means, but that joke doesn't work in English. There's no way it can. Like, you can't write that to make it work.
Oh, yeah.
Because what's he gonna do? He's gonna whisper, say something horrible, and then she's not gonna understand, but she speaks English. She's American. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, no, I absolutely get where you're coming from.
I think you remember that scene, too, where, like, it's like the dude that, like, can copy your abilities.
Oh, God, fucking...
He's such a cocky asshole, but I love him. That's the perfect... I think that's the perfect personality for someone who can copy all your abilities, honestly.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if Kirby were an anime character, he'd probably be a douchebag about it.
Like, who wouldn't be, though? Like, I have the power... I do... but I do like how, like, part of it is that he works also because he can't just take, like, one for all, because, like, he'll just break every bone in his body because he sucks, and he's frail, and he sucks. And that's kind of... I like how that's done as well.
Yeah.
Because I think that's kind of funny. It's just like... He could, technically. And what I'm thinking is also... I want to know what happens if he was to copy, let's say, One for All, right?
Yeah.
And he was to then pass it down to somebody, right?
Oh.
Would the person keep it?
Oh.
Would he keep his quirk?
That's a really good question, actually. Maybe they'll...
That's a really good question.
Could you imagine if they actually addressed this?
Like, that's something I've always thought about. Or, like, because one of the things, like, when I used to think about it, and, like, one, like, story arc that I thought, because, you know, funny me, you know, even though, for example, we were talking about fan fiction, I've always thought of, like, some American, because I wanted to, like, show what happened in, like, America, because first I know way more about America than I do anywhere.
Oh, dude, same. Especially because, like, in Bleach, there's a mistranslation where Viz translates one dialogue to "We're in the Soul Society," but in the original, it's translated to "We're in the Eastern Soul Society," which implies the existence of a Western Soul Society.
Yeehaw, they're all cowboys and shit.
Yeah, no, instead of a bunch of Japanese swordsmen, it's just a bunch of cowboys, and their Zanpakutos are guns.
But then also, like, you can have, like, the English ones as well, where they're, like, very Victorian shit. See, there you go, there's a cool shit with that. But what is it? I was thinking about something like that, too, because remember, it's very hinted that there was a dark age of quirks.
Yeah.
In My Hero Academia, where it was super shit. Like, one of the first lines that Deku delivers is, if, like, without quirks, we would be on Mars right now.
Whoa.
Like, one of the first lines he delivers, and you're just sitting there like, what the fuck happened? And what I was thinking is, Japan's whole thing was that it was ruled in secret by One for All. That was, like, the whole thing, where, like, people didn't really know it was, but, like, people who did were like, oh shit, he owns it. It was like Al, what the fuck is his name? Capone. I don't know what his first name is. Yeah, Al Capone. It was like that shit, only for like 200 years.
Yeah. And then All Might was like, hey, fuck you, punch.
Yeah, and that's the whole, like, storyline of that, and I think that's really cool. But what about other countries? Like, let's say, America. And I was thinking that there could be some sort of civil war where, for example, what is it? People with quirks are, like, the government's like, yeah, people with quirks, they're fucking too dangerous to be kept alive and shit like that. Like, they'll kill us all. And, like, so, because remember, there's also this theory in, like, that's very much, like, addressed a lot, is, I can't remember what the theory is, but it's that the more and more that, like, quirks breed and, like, mix together, they will get so powerful that it will...
Oh, that one! I remember now.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, no, because the fucking... God, because there was that bit in season 4, if I'm remembering correctly.
It's where they're like with the kindergartners.
Yeah, it's when Bakugo fights the kindergartners, and they're like stupidly powerful.
But also they're not, because like they do no damage to them, but they also are, and like it's like legitimately. I think it's like quirk conversion theory or something like that.
Yeah, that.
And my whole thing with it is that come from. I think the best way that would come from. Would be somewhere like in America during, like, let's say, a civil war, where, like, the government basically turns against everybody with quirks and tries to kill them all.
Oh yeah.
Systematically. And it like turns into quirks versus people with quirks versus people without. And the whole thing about it was, yeah, people with quirks are more powerful, but they are at like a numbers disadvantage because at the time it doesn't have that 80-20 split. It's more like, let's say, like a 40-60 or something like that.
Yeah.
And they're just systematically murdering them. But at the same time, so it splits into like I'm still trying to think of where it would split. I don't want to do North and South because that's already been done, for Civil War. So I'm thinking like West and East Coast, but like a smaller portion for like the quirks. But I don't exactly know which coast to take and give to them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, totally.
So so the geography still hasn't been like done for me, but the point is that they're split. However, they're starting to gain ground because as they breed and because war goes on for a very long time and it's split. Yeah. And as they breed, the quirks get more powerful and more powerful and more powerful. So
yeah,
part of it,
like they start off like simple X-Men quirks, like a dude can get claws from his hands, a dude can just like turn his fingers, just hands or guns. And then they eventually get to the point where people can just shoot fire from their hands.
But part of this is that like let's say, what is it? Fuck. It also is kind of bad already because at first no one was really like, oh, no one's gonna get that powerful, but then they get that powerful because they just let it sit there for a while and like they see it start, and that's how like the fear sets in, and that's what sparks the war. And one of them that and part of it I was thinking is that then, because the government is afraid that this is going to go on longer, what they do is they instead start using quirk genes to their advantage. So they start making what is known, and I don't know what to call the project yet, because I don't have a name for the project yet. But the project, it will be that they start cloning soldiers and implanting the memories of those soldiers who have a particularly strong hatred for quirks for whatever reason, or just regular people. So, but they start giving them certain modified quirk genes to make them more powerful. I'm going to call them, and I do have a name for them, where the working name is mutants. So they're the mutants. And they essentially are just forced quirk clones that were made specifically to kill quirk users. And they will be trained as if they'll be trained in different methodologies to kill quirks and shit like that. And like part of it is like, and I'm thinking of also technologies they would use to like, let's say, for example, you have like certain ones that are really good at like sniping and shit, and off quirks that maybe like let them zoom in their vision or something. And part of it is they'll have these like really big ass railguns, because railguns are already a technology that exists.
Yeah.
For 40 years in the future, even though with quirks and like shit going bad, you know that the government's gonna be like, yeah, we're still gonna invest in like military technology and shit.
Oh yeah, no, fucking, I watched a certain scientific railgun.
But yeah, so like, let's say, so they make a railgun, and this railgun's really powerful, but you need to be like extremely powerful to wield this thing because it's like super heavy and stuff. But it can like pierce through even the strongest of like quirks, and it's a really scary thing. Or let's say you have a flying quirk, so like some like quirks that fly around, and this is also based off of a railgun. This is also based off of an actually existing technology we have today. What they do is they have railguns that have special rounds that, like, when they fire them, they have a certain distance where they detonate and just spread the area with like tungsten bullets. And like shit like that, and that's stuff I've been thinking about, or like very silent ones that are meant to blend in and then go for their target and just kill everybody. And they're supposed to be like really powerful. And one of the ones I was thinking of is based off of a very powerful quirk user, and his working name is Dracula because it's kind of what I'm basing him off of. Yeah. He's a blood-based quirk user who just absorbs people. He absorbs you, and he becomes stronger as he does it. He doesn't get your quirk, but he becomes stronger. He gains strength through killing you. And I'm calling him, his working name, of course, is Dracula. And part of it is that they create a clone, and that, of course, uh, are a bunch of clones a few clones that gain power like this. A few different generations of them. Two of them betray the U.S. Army because, for one reason or another, their programming breaks and they realize what they're doing is wrong.
Yeah, no, classic realizing they're on the wrong side stuff.
Yeah, and one of them, of course, would be. I'm going super far into this. You can see how long I've been thinking about this.
Yeah, you can really tell.
One of them one of them is Sarah, and she becomes a very high-ranking member of the other military that's leading quirks and people that are on the side of quirks, and that's her name. And then the other one is the one that is the main character, and his name is Raven, and he is found by someone by the name of Father Maxwell. You know, your standard, very nice, very wise priest guy.
Oh yeah.
And his ability, he actually is also is revealed later that he also is a clone himself. However, he had a very experimental quirk, the ability to stop time.
Oh.
The problem is, and here's the other part of him. I really, because I wanted to give him a weakness, and my weakness would be as he has anti-aging properties, but even with them, as he uses the quirk, he ages rapidly.
Oh.
And so he has the serum that can reduce the damage done to aging. But because he's betrayed them, and because they only are the U.S. military, is the only one that can synthesize this chemical, every time he uses his quirk, he slowly kills himself.
Oh.
So while it is extremely powerful, and he can take out legions of he can take out so many people with it, every time he uses it, he slowly kills himself.
Yeah, no, that's really clever. Cause I know one of my friends is also wants to write a Ruby, a fanfic based on Ruby. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yes, I've heard of that. I have many friends that are very big fans of that.
Oh god, well, we're prepared to have one more friend who also is very heavily invested. I fucking hate Season 8.
I heard a lot of people didn't like that. I have not watched it at all.
Look, if you want my professional opinion, it's really sad that the part that you know, when you write a story, typically people remember the beginning or the end, right?
Yeah.
The part that I liked the most about it was the middle fluff.
The middle.
That
I
should
didn't like
say something.
I know there was a bunch of different writers that came and went with that too.
Oh god, honestly, fucking, you want my opinion? Fucking, look, if I can go into specifics if you'd like.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so